Coming to you from the old Kirkwood Studios, this is Coffee and Donuts with Knuteschoolfools.
Old school players,
Three wide outs left, one out to the right. Back to throw, Meyer. Looks, rolls to the right. Pump fake, throws the ball. It is caught, Reggie Brooks! Reggie Brooks got it for a two-pointer, and Notre Dame is out in front 17-16 with 20 seconds left.
What are you giving up for what? Blogging? I give up blogging for what?
Never. I was going to give up caffeine, and I got upset just thinking about that.
I got a headache just thinking about giving up caffeine.
Maybe I could give up... No!
Give up Indy Nation?
Well, that's a time of year that you should be able to give... Well, if there was a time of year that you could give it up. I don't mean to be super righteous just right off the bat here, but I was going to flip it and maybe try to do like a prayer commitment. It's supposed to be like prayer, fasting, and almsgiving, and everybody seems to enjoy the fasting. It's always like, I'm giving up cussing, and if I cuss, I'm going to hit myself with a rubber band, and it's just like, it's like a novelty of self-denial, but, it's the same song and dance. I don't want to talk about you're not a real Catholic or whatever, but, I'm not drinking Diet Pepsi for 40 days, are you really preparing for Jesus,
I gave up fast food last year.
Yeah, if it...
Lost 20 pounds.
Exactly, and that's like... It
happened to tie into a Biggest Loser contest at work. I almost won $1,000.
Right, and I think a lot of people do that kind of stuff. I think that a lot of people tend to say, oh, can I do it? It just becomes like this novelty of, like I said, the novelty of self-denial. Can I do it? And honestly, I think that I should pray more, so I think that I'd be better served in, giving up, skipping prayers or whatever, so... but you can always pick some sort of vice, but...
I was going with the ATF. Alcohol, tobacco.
Giving up alcohol, tobacco, and firearms?
And firearms.
Yeah.
As long as I don't get robbed.
Right.
During those 40 days, it'll be fine.
Despite my... despite the...
I'm Johnson, man! Bah.
Okay, I need a cigarette or somebody's going to get capped. All right. Despite the righteousness, I think that if you actually go straight 40 and it's something that you really have a hard time giving up, then it's cool. If you're one of these, you can do it on Sunday, if you're one of the, you're eating Taco Bell at 12:05 on a Friday night, that's not really what it's supposed to be.
That's not really me. It's a technicality.
Right. Yeah, I forgot about that. You're in the Taco Bell parking lot.
No, I give up meat.
Eating Wendy's. Can we get a Vatican ruling on that? Like, once it's grade C or above, needs to be abstain. You must abstain from grade C.
Oh, that's not
meat.
slurry. That's actual meat. Yeah, no, that's not. You can't.
Exactly. Tuna, cheese pizza, and Taco Bell. Fridays. I don't know. Maybe I'll give up complaining or something.
Oh, this sucks.
yeah.
But if you draw upon today's reading, Father Tony at my mass, 7:30, bright and early, was talking about the theme of the readings was trust, and the reading about, or the gospel about Jesus telling the pre-disciples, recruits, telling the recruits to go out and put their nets down, and they said, hey, we just did that, and it kind of reminded me of some of the people I've seen online not being fully satisfied, seemingly, with the recruiting class. I think that signing day put a nice cap on it, and people were more happy. But initially, getting some lower stars, maybe pulling some guys that Kelly had been courting while he was at Cincinnati, and people thought maybe he was just kind of shooting a little bit lower than the expectation. And to bring that into the readings, it was about trust. And not to anoint Kelly the Messiah right off the bat, but he does play the Christ figure in this analogy of saying, go put your nets over there. And initially the disciples are like, whoa, we've been doing that. Like, we've seen, we know what to, we've had all these great recruits under Weiss. and he says, just change your perspective. That's all it's about, you know. And then obviously him being introduced as the coach kind of plays into Jesus out in a boat talking to the masses about, you know, giving his big speech about how he's the new coach and he's the savior and everything. And there's kind of a parallel there with the press conferences and that kind of thing. But on the side of that story, he's talking about just go, you know, trust me, go try something different and go out to a place, you know, metaphorical place that you haven't been yet. You know, go around that island, go around that bank of rocks over there, and just put your nets down and see what happens. You know, obviously Jesus smugly knowing that all these fish were going to come up, and we would like to believe that Kelly's doing the same thing. You know, go put your nets over there, which represents, you know, him maybe getting some lesser recruits, and the disciples being the Notre Dame fans who are impatient, saying, "Oh, I don't know, we'll see what happens," and then hopefully, you know, Kelly has the knowledge that Jesus did in the reading of this is really going to yield results to the point where the boat is going to break because it's so great. So, I think that was kind of the parallel that I made for the gospel.
Yeah, and you have to think, too, I mean, as far as, you know, one thing you like about Kelly is that he's always done it with lesser talent. And, you know, people on Indy Nation or whoever, you know, like to call him small-timey and say, oh, you know, I just see the level of pessimism really blows me away sometimes. And the most pessimistic person I've ever known in the last 5 years about Irish football is the most excited. So it really is, I mean, the craziest reversal of fortunes. But, you know, people say, well, you know, he's small time. He's never done it at a big school. You know, you want to see Stoops, you want to see an Urban Meyer, and that's fine. But at the same time, I mean, this guy's on his way up. He was an undefeated coach last year.
You're listening to Coffee and Donuts with Knuteschoolfools.